Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money, and in this video I wanted to talk about some unusual and perhaps unexpected ways to save money, which we could all use right now. So let's get to it. Okay, so a lot of people are feeling broke, feeling as if they are living paycheck to paycheck. Maybe you're living beyond your means. Maybe that's not even something that's by choice. You might have a really high student loan payment or mortgage payment or rent payment, or you've been laid off recently, and so you're trying to save money. And you've heard a lot of people talk about, including myself, trying to get side hustles, how, if you do gig work, such as, maybe delivering for Instacart, you can earn extra money, but maybe you can't get a job doing that, because I did read that Instacart in particular is saying that they are not hiring as many people as they used to. Maybe people are not using Instacart services like they used to because everybody's trying to save money. So what are some possibly extreme ways that you can save money and help yourself to either beef up your emergency fund or to just make ends meet? Okay, so let's get into it. So number one, on the top of the list here, in no particular order, I think I've got 10 of these, is to have a no new clothes year. Now, maybe you're thinking this is an extreme, but it could be extreme for some people to decide to not purchase any new clothes for a full year. I like challenges. We talk about challenges on my channel a lot. So maybe starting now, this, whatever time you're watching this video, and say, this is it. I'm just going to make do with what I have in my closet. Now, if you absolutely have to purchase something, you could add a little caveat that says you only purchase secondhand. Maybe you've got an awesome Goodwill store near you and you say, I only buy clothes if it's from there. You could also add that on there and then use that as your challenge, rules, or guidelines. Next is to rent out storage space from your home. If you have a basement, there might be people in your area who are looking to store bikes. Maybe you've got a shed on your property and people are willing to pay you some kind of rental fee to utilize a corner of your space to store whatever. Okay, maybe people are moving. It's something that you can do. You can post online, hey, I've got this space. Is anyone looking to rent out a little bit of storage space for whatever they've got? Now, in saying this, make sure that you check your homeowner's insurance and make sure that you don't have any sort of guidelines that prevent you from doing this with your landlord if you are renting. Just make sure you're being safe and following whatever rules that apply to your space that you are attempting to rent out. Also, be careful with hazardous material. You might want to add some kind of footnote to whatever agreement. I definitely recommend a written agreement that you don't want any hazardous or perishable items being stored in your space. Next is maybe the most extreme, at least in my opinion, and that is to become a dumpster diver, like for real, okay? It doesn't have to be like a creepy, weird thing. There are a lot of products that are just thrown out by stores, okay? But again, make sure you're being safe. You want to check the local laws, make sure that there are no trespassing signs. You don't want to be going somewhere that could get you arrested, so be very careful with that. But there are a lot of products that are just simply thrown into a dumpster that you could maybe, utilize for yourself versus having to purchase new. And also, there's a lot of areas where it is perfectly legal. I recommend that you don't go alone, wear gloves, and just do it during the daytime if you can as well, just to keep yourself safe. Next is to cut the fridge, like literally. Stop, cut it, turn it off. If you live alone or with a partner, and in particular if you live in a colder climate, then you can get away with this. If you just maybe shop for, items that you can eat within a day or two, then it might help you with your electricity bill if you're not running a full-size refrigerator. So you might want to decide just to get rid of it altogether, or even just get a little mini fridge, something much smaller. But if you, just drink water and maybe you just eat items that don't need to be kept refrigerated, it can save you some money. Next, you can adopt a no gift policy. Now, you might want to put your friends and family on notice and say, hey, for this set amount of time, we are adopting, or I am adopting, a no gift policy because I'm trying to save money here. I'm trying to make ends meet. So I would love to come to your events, but just know that I'm not doing any gifts. So I understand, maybe, you don't want to invite me. Just make sure you're clear with people that you know that you are doing this, and then obviously stick to it. You wouldn't want to buy a gift for one person and not another. But I think a lot of times if you are are just upfront and honest with people who are in your life, they will understand. People will be relieved. I have discovered that there's been some birthday parties that we've been invited to, and it was clear on the invitation, no gifts, that it was a no gift party, and that they were not even accepting gifts. And like for me, I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like I want to do this because it takes the pressure off. And actually, when we went to these parties, it was like there was a lot more kids even in attendance. And because people sometimes decline birthday parties if you have children because they don't feel that they can afford the gift. So the no gift thing sometimes is a relief for some people because then they feel like, oh great, well then I don't have to in turn give you a gift or whatnot. So like I said, some people might be really relieved to hear this, that you are doing this for the year for whatever reason. You could use ugly produce delivery services. At one time I used a service. We were subscribed to a service, and they delivered, produce that wasn't necessarily beautiful and not able to be sold in grocery stores, but it was perfectly fine and it provided discount produce. And we used that for, I think, maybe a year and a half. And it was fine. Like we had no problems with it. Yeah, some of the stuff looked kind of like, wow, this looks funky, like misshapen or whatnot, but it tasted fine and it was no problem. So it's a good way to get discount produce is to look for one of those companies that will that advertises that way, that they sell you ugly produce and it's at a pretty good price. Next is to shower at your local budget-friendly gym that you belong to, of course. So if you have a gym membership, not only is it good for your mental health to be working out, but you could shower there. If you go, even if you're not working out, you can go there and utilize their showers. You can also possibly I know some people charge their phones and things and utilize power outlets at these at their gyms. So you can do that to cut down on your water bill if you have public water, or even your, however you heat your water, cut down on your electric bill. So showering somewhere else other than your home every day, yes, you have the expense of paying for that gym membership, but maybe you're already doing that anyway, and that's a non-negotiable for you. So if you're already there, maybe, your family, you and your partner or your older teen child, you could all do that. You could all decide to work out every day and do your showers at that facility and utilize their hot water. And then obviously with that, just make sure you are following your gym's rules and guidelines and be courteous and respectful to the staff there, and try not to be overly obvious is what I would say. Try financial fasting days. All right, this to me isn't necessarily so extreme, but I know it is for others. Maybe you decide that you're going to take a month, a no spend month like we've done on my channel, and not spend any extra money that month. Of course, you still have to pay for your bills, but maybe you decide that you're not going to purchase anything else. You're not going to go shopping. You're not going to hang out with friends, buy any of the extras. You're just going to do or no spend day. Maybe every single Friday you choose that's the day you're not going to spend money that day. So if you can do like a financial fast. Okay, well, my battery just died, so I just had lunch while I was charging. So hopefully we can pick up where we were. I just had cabbage and a garlic and oil dressing with some cashews on it. Okay, so let's get back on track. Next, you can unsubscribe from the internet temporarily. So hear me out. If you have a hotspot on your phone, you can use that, and you can, for maybe 1 month, just pause your internet subscription, because if you can use your hotspot on your phone, maybe you have unlimited data, an unlimited data plan on your cell phone. You probably watch most stuff on your phone anyway. Like maybe you don't need the internet. So just be careful that you don't need it for work or other reasons. However, pausing it will save you at least $100 possibly per month. But if you do work remote, you could possibly go to a cafe and use their internet, or even at the Y. Lots of people at our local YMCA sit in the lobby and use the internet there. And I see them sitting there on their laptops working. So maybe you could go elsewhere close to home and work from there. That way you wouldn't need the internet at home. Okay, and lastly, you can live like it's the Depression, the Great Depression. If you are interested in how to do that, I do have a video, actually several videos on my channel talking about that. However, if you just live like they did back in the day, make things simpler, and also, we all have more stuff than we really need. And unfortunately, the more money we make, the more things people buy, and it's just like an endless cycle. But if you really think about it, you don't need all of that stuff, and it doesn't necessarily make you happy. So if you can try to simplify your life and try to reduce your spending or reduce your things, it might actually make you happier, and things will be simpler. And so they had something going on back in the day as far as living the simpler lifestyle, which I admire and strive to adopt wherever I can. So if you can try to live like it's one of those older time periods, I've done a whole series of videos on my channel and also on my blog talking about different time periods and things you can do to live similarly to help you save money. So I encourage everyone to embrace the unusual. Let's try to think outside the box during these times when we're all trying to save money, trying to afford things. If you have some ideas, please share them down below in the comments, because it not only helps me, it helps everybody within this community to see and read your ideas, and hopefully to help us all to save a bit of money. And if you've saved money doing one of the things that I've discussed, please share your experience with that down below in the comments as well. All right, guys, so if you're interested in that Great Depression video, I'll go ahead and link it here. And if you do, I'll see you there. And if not, I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye, guys.